So we're going to be using some Markdown language to express our Jupyter Notebook better. We're obviously writing code to analyze things, but we need to actually input some information so that people can read it as if it was a lab report. So this website here, markdownguide.com, cheat sheet, this essentially goes over the basics of everything. It's quite extended, and each one of these that you highlight or click on will actually go into another sort of link to give you information. So two of the important ones, one is this image one, and the other one is tables. So we're going to exclusively use tables for just to show the data of the specific lab day that we've done. So if we were to go to table here, we can see that this is the general idea. So if I wanted to make a table that had two columns, I would start off by putting this little dash here, so this line. I would write in what the heading column is. I would then put another line here, and then I would put in the next column heading here, and then this. And so that would denote then that I've got two columns right here. So the next thing at the next one here is you're going to use a line, and you're going to use, I just use 3 dashes. I don't use as many as this. You can get away with 3, and you don't have to have as many dashes as the hyphens here. So it says here use 3 or more hyphens, and these pipes, I guess they call it. And so that was the next one. So you have to have this afterwards. And so this allows you to do things like justification, alignment, like this. I'll show you in a second. And so this is what we're going to be doing. So an example here for our data, so we could then in a Jupyter Notebook, if we had code above, so I'm just going to put something up here and just copied it. I'll put some code up here, and let's just say that this was some code that we had. What we're going to do then is we want to then afterwards say, let's create a table that looks like this right here. So what we would do then is I could say, okay, I want to put a header on this called, or a title called results. And so I can use this 3 hashtags, or I could do 2 hashtags, or 1 hashtag, or I could do 6 hashtags. And that gives you the essentially the size of what this looks like. But here is the columns. I want to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So I'm going to have to put in a pipe here, the column header, another pipe, column header, pipe, column header. And essentially I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things all separated by these pipes like that. And then on the next one, you can see it's not the same distance. I only use the 3 hashtags, or sorry, 3 hyphens. But there's pipe, 3 hyphens, pipe, 3 hyphens, so on. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I can put my data in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can see then it gets put out like a nice table like this. So this actually is a table that has code. If I were to run this as a Markdown, this is under raw. So I'll show you here. If you were to run this as Markdown, you'll see that everything starts to get highlighted in blue. And if I were to run this cell specifically, it'll turn out like this one. So let's run it, and you can see that that's what it looks like. If I wanted to edit something, I just double clicked with the left mouse button. It's back into Markdown. If I wanted to, I could turn it into raw like this. And so nothing will happen when I run it, or back into Markdown again. So this is what we would like to do, and in a few of the labs, we're going to ask for your data to be called in. I need to see this at the very beginning of your lab report. So you're going to say do lab 1. You're going to weigh out salicylic massive anhydride. You're going to end up with a theoretical yield. So I'm looking for typically a column, 3 columns for the very first lab report.